The stranger's arrival, the planet Neres, was quiet. The human colony there was small but strong. People lived simple lives. They worked hard, mined minerals, and kept watch for dangers. No one expected visitors, especially not from far, far away. One cold evening, as the twin suns set behind the rocky hills, a strange light appeared in the sky. It moved fast and low. People stopped their work and stared. The light grew closer. Then it crashed hard near the edge of the colony. The colony's leader, Captain Mara, heard the noise. She ran outside with her team. Smoke and sparks rose from a broken ship. The metal was unlike anything they had seen before. The crash site was fresh. There was something alive inside Mara, and her team approached carefully. From the wreckage, a figure moved slowly. It was an alien, tall and thin, with pale blue skin and glowing eyes. The alien looked weak and hurt. It raised its hand, trembling. "Protect me, human," it whispered. "Please, I beg you." Mara felt a chill. The alien's voice was soft but full of fear. The colony was used to danger, but this was something new. Who was this stranger? Why did it ask for protection? Her soldiers pointed their guns at the alien. "Identify yourself," Mara ordered. The alien tried to stand. "My name is Kale. I come from the star system Zorith. My world is gone. I carry a secret. If you protect me, I can help you." Mara looked at her team. No one moved. They were unsure. Kale seemed real, but what if this was a trick? What if he was a spy or a scout for a bigger threat? Mara spoke softly. "Why should we trust you?" Kale's eyes shone brighter. "Because my enemy hunts me. They want to destroy what I carry. If they find me, all is lost." Suddenly, alarms sounded in the colony. Mara's radio crackled. "Captain, unknown ships detected near the colony perimeter." The soldiers went on alert. Kale looked up at the sky, fear clear on his face. "Are coming," Kale said. "We must move fast." Mara made a quick decision. Bring him inside, secure the perimeter, prepare for battle. Kale was helped into the colony's med bay. The healers worked quickly on his wounds. Mara stayed near the door, eyes scanning the horizon. Outside, dark shapes moved in the sky. Enemy ships. They were silent and fast. The colony had no big weapons to fight them easily. The people were afraid, but ready. Mara called a meeting. "We do not know what Kale carries, but if he is right, we face a threat greater than any before. We must protect him and ourselves." Kale's voice was weak but clear. "The secret I carry can change the fate of many worlds. Please, human, guard me. I owe you everything." Mara felt the weight of his words. She knew this was no ordinary request. The stranger had come to her colony for one reason: survival. As night fell, the colony prepared for the fight ahead. The humans and the alien stranger stood together. Outside, the enemy ships closed in. No one knew what would happen next. But one thing was sure: nothing would ever be the same again. The secret mission. The morning light broke through the dusty windows of the colony's command center. Captain Mara sat quietly, staring at the star charts. Kale, the strange alien, was resting nearby, but his presence weighed heavily on her mind. No one had ever brought such a danger and such a hope. Their small world before. Kale woke slowly. His pale blue skin looked even paler in the cold light. He motioned for Mara to come closer. "There is more you must know," Kale said softly. "My world was destroyed by a powerful enemy, the Drakthir. They hunt me because I carry information they cannot allow anyone to find." Mara leaned in. "What kind of information?" Kale's eyes darkened. "A secret weapon, hidden in the stars. If it falls into the wrong hands, entire civilizations will fall. Mara's heart beat faster. She had heard stories of ancient weapons lost in space, but never proof. "We must protect you," she said firmly. "But how can a small colony like ours stand against the Drakethir fleet?" Kale smiled faintly. "You don't have to fight alone. I will teach you what I know." Suddenly, the colony's sensors beeped loudly. An alert flashed on the screen. "Enemy scouts approaching," one soldier said. Voice tense. Mara stood quickly. "Ready the defenses. We cannot afford surprises." Kale rose with difficulty. "The Drakethir know I am here. They will attack soon." The colony's walls felt smaller now. Fragile against the coming storm. Mara gathered her closest officers. "Listen carefully. Our mission is to keep Kale safe at all costs. If they capture him, the galaxy will be lost." Her second in command, Lieutenant Rhea, frowned. "But Captain, we are outnumbered." "What chance do we have?" Mara met her gaze. "We have to try. Kale's secret could save us all." As the sun rose higher, scouts reported strange movements outside. Small ships darted near the colony's perimeter, watching, waiting. Mara and Kale walked to the training grounds. Kale demonstrated strange devices and taught them new tactics, ways to use the colony's limited resources in smarter ways. "Your people have courage," Kale said. "But you must be smarter. The Drakethir are ruthless." The training was intense, but the colonists learned quickly. At night, Mara stood alone outside the command center, staring at the stars. She thought about the stranger's words and the danger coming. Suddenly, a shadow passed overhead. A faint hum grew louder. "Incoming," shouted a soldier. Enemy ships screamed down from the sky like dark birds. The colony's alarms blared. Cannons fired, lighting the dark like thunder. Mara led her team, heart pounding as the battle began. Explosions shook the ground. The sky burned with fire and smoke. Amid the chaos, Kale moved through the crowd, whispering, "Protect me, human. I owe you everything." The fight was only beginning. Asterisk. Under siege, the sky was dark and filled with smoke. Explosions rocked the colony on Neris. Enemy ships swarmed like angry hornets, striking without mercy. The humans fought back fiercely, but their weapons were small compared to the enemy's. Firepower. Captain Mara stood on the colony's main platform, shouting orders. Her voice was steady, but inside, she felt the heavy weight of responsibility. "Hold the line," she yelled. "Protect the civilians. We cannot let them break through." Beside her, Kale moved carefully. Though wounded, his eyes burned with fierce determination. He was more than just an alien visitor now. He was a fighter. When enemy fire came too close, Kale unleashed strange energy blasts no one understood but feared. The soldiers watched in awe as Kale's power tore through. Enemy ships like paper. But even with his help, the battle was brutal. Mara saw one of her closest friends, Lieutenant Rhea, fall under enemy fire. She rushed to help, heart pounding. The colony was losing ground fast. Suddenly, a massive explosion near the control center shook the ground. Communication systems went dark. Panic rose among the people. "We need to protect the command center," Mara shouted. "Without it, we lose everything." Kale took Mara's hand briefly. "There is more to my power," he said. "I will show you, but you must trust me." Mara nodded, unsure but desperate. Kale closed his eyes and focused. A wave of blue light spread from him, creating a shield around the colony's heart. Enemy weapons hit the shield, but bounced off harmlessly. The humans cheered, hope returning, but the enemy was not finished. They sent a new weapon, a giant warship that blotted out the stars. Its heavy cannons began firing, smashing walls and shaking the ground. Mara realized the colony would not survive long without a plan. She gathered her officers. "We need to strike back at their warship," she said. "Kale, can you help us find a weakness?" Kale nodded. "Follow me." They moved through the chaos toward the colony's research lab. Inside, Kale revealed an ancient star map. It showed hidden places in space, secret weapons and traps left by a long-lost civilization. "If we can reach one of these weapons, we might turn the tide," Kale explained. Mara's eyes narrowed with resolve. "Then we will do whatever it takes." The battle raged outside, but inside, a new hope was born. Asterisk the hidden truth. The colony was quiet for a moment, but the calm was only on the surface. Captain Mara sat in the dimly lit research lab, staring at the star map Kale had shown her. The ancient markings glowed softly, like a secret waiting to be uncovered. Kale's face was serious. "There is more I must tell you," he said. "The secret I carry is not just a weapon. It is the key to ending the Drakethir's reign of terror." Mara leaned forward. "Tell me everything." Kale's eyes flickered with pain. "Long ago, a powerful energy source was hidden in a distant star system. It can create or destroy worlds. The Drakethir wanted to control the galaxy. I was chosen to protect the knowledge of its location." Mara's heart raced. "So you are the last hope?" Kale nodded. "If they find me, or if the secret falls into the wrong hands, it will mean the end for many." Suddenly, the door to the lab hissed open. Mara's soldiers raised their weapons, but a familiar voice stopped them. "It's me, Lieutenant Rhea." Rhea stepped inside, her face grim. "Captain, there's a problem. I found signs of enemy spies inside the colony." Mara frowned. "Spies? How many?" "Not sure yet, but they are moving fast. Someone here is helping the Drakethir." The room grew tense. Trust was fragile now. Kale's eyes narrowed. "They want the secret. They will stop at nothing." Mara stood. "We need to find the traitors before it's too late." Rhea handed her a datapad. "We started tracking suspicious activity near the communications tower. We think they plan to send a signal to the enemy fleet." Mara nodded. "Kale, can your powers help us?" Kale closed his eyes and reached out with his mind. Suddenly, he saw flashes of faces and places, hidden rooms, secret meetings. "There is a spy," Kale said quietly. "Someone close." Mara's blood ran cold. She looked around at her team. Who could it be? As the night deepened, Mara felt eyes watching her. The enemy was closer than anyone thought. Suddenly, the power flickered. The colony plunged into darkness. "Alarm! Intruder detected." The loudspeaker blared. Mara grabbed her weapon. "Prepare for battle. We have a traitor and an attack coming." Kale whispered, "Protect me, human. The secret depends on it." Mara nodded. She would not let her people or the alien down. Not now. Not ever. Asterisk. Rescue and revenge darkness had fallen over the colony. The enemy's grip tightened with every hour. Captain Mara stood by the communication console, her face set with determination. Kale was missing. Taken by the enemy. The Drakethir had launched a surprise attack and captured him during the power outage. Without Kale, the colony's hope dimmed. Mara clenched her fists. "I will bring him back," she promised quietly. She gathered a small team of trusted soldiers. "This is a rescue mission," she said. "We go into enemy space. It will be dangerous, but we have no choice." The soldiers nodded. Fear mixed with courage. Using stolen enemy data, Mara found the location of Kale's prison ship, a massive fortress drifting near a dark asteroid belt. The rescue team boarded their small stealth ship. The engines hummed softly as they jumped into space. Mara's mind raced. She thought of Kale's words. "I owe you everything." Now she would risk everything for and got. As they approached the enemy ship, sensors picked up heavy patrols. The prison was heavily guarded. We move quietly, Mara whispered. No mistakes. Inside the prison, Kale sat in a dark cell, weak but unbroken. His eyes flickered when he heard the faint sound of approaching footsteps. Suddenly, a sharp blast broke the silence. The rescue team had arrived. Mara led the charge through narrow corridors, fighting off guards. Every step was a battle. When Mara finally reached Kale's cell, she saw the faintest smile on his face. You came, Kale said quietly. I knew you would. They escaped through the chaos. Kale's strength began to return. He unleashed bursts of energy that cleared their path. Back on their ship, Kale looked out at the stars. The Drakethir declared war on humanity. Now, it is time we strike back, Mara nodded. Together. The rescue was just the beginning. The final battle loomed ahead. Asterisk the final stand, the stars, stretched endlessly before them as the human fleet gathered near the edge of the Drakethir's territory. Captain Mara stood on the bridge of the flagship, her eyes scanning the dark void. This battle would decide the fate of not just her colony, but many worlds. Beside her, Kale's pale blue skin seemed to glow softly in the dim light. He was no longer just a stranger. He was a symbol of hope and power. The secret he carried had united humanity and other alien allies for the first time. The enemy fleet is massive, said Lieutenant Rhea, her voice steady but tense. They outnumber us 3-1. Mara clenched her jaw. Numbers don't win wars. Strategy and courage do. Kale stepped forward. I will use my power to create a shield around our ships. It will buy us time. The fleet's commanders prepared for battle. Ships powered their weapons and took formation. Suddenly, the silence shattered. The Drakethir warships appeared, dark and threatening, blotting out distant stars. Lasers and missiles filled the void. Explosions lit up space. As the two fleets clashed, Mare's ship shook under heavy fire. She held the controls tightly, barking orders. Hold the line. Protect the core. Kale closed his eyes and raised his hands. Blue energy surged from him, forming a shimmering dome around the human fleet. Enemy blasts bounced off harmlessly. Your promise, Mara whispered. You said you'd owe me everything. Kale smiled faintly. Now you see. With a sudden roar, Kale unleashed a massive wave of energy toward the enemy flagship. The blast struck true, crippling the Drakethir command ship. Chaos spread through the enemy ranks. Without their leader, the Drakethir fleet faltered. Mara seized the moment. Push forward. Finish this. The humans and their allies fought with everything they had. Slowly, the enemy fleet began to retreat. When the battle ended, silence returned to the stars. Mara and Kale stood side by side, watching the distant suns rise. The galaxy was safe, for now. Kale turned to Mara. Thank you, human, for protecting me, for believing in me. Mara smiled. We protected each other. As the fleets prepared to return home, both knew this victory was just the start. New threats waited in the dark, but for today, hope had won. Asterisk.